Hey, what's up guys, it's Vesper again, and we're doing another patch breakdown video. This time we're going to do some Ken. And Ken's got some awesome changes this season. They're not a lot, but they're potent. So let's get started on them. So the first buff is Ken's crouching medium kick. So now instead of being -4 on block, it's -2. Now this doesn't sound like a big deal, but this is one of Ken's main normal attacks. In previous patches, they made it really easy for Ken to one-hit confirm from his crouching medium kick. So he'll be using this a lot, and if he's constantly -4, he's going to be losing his turn a lot. And this is still special cancelable, meaning it's going to be a lot harder for the opponent to squeeze out an invincible reversal to go through the fireball during this block string the closer you are. Now if you're at max range, there still is some space. So let me show you guys an example of that at max range. Casting the fireball, you see there's a gap in between even after this patch. But if you use an EX fireball, for example, you can see there's no space. So it's just a lot better for Ken's pressure, especially when he's like in the corner, has the opponent in the corner. And like I said, it's one of his main poke tools. This buff is also going to help Ken get into V-Trigger 1 easier, because going crouching medium kick, canceling the fireball is one of the main ways that he gets into it and gets things started with it. So that helps too. Another thing that's going to really help with his combos, because he's going to be doing this really frequently with this new patch, which I'll go over really soon, but it's going to work well with his V-Trigger 1 because of a new mechanic he gets. Alright, the next buff, Ken's heavy uppercut. So they added more hit stop to the second hit of Ken's uppercut. So this allows you to cancel from the second hit into your super much easier. You'll have more time. Now Ken was always able to cancel a second hit into his super, but it was risky because sometimes you get to the third hit and then you get no super at all. So most people would just cancel straight from the first hit and sacrifice some damage. Now you don't really have to do that. So it's a nice kind of quality of life change. This also really helps with Ken's V-Trigger too as well, getting that second hit of that uppercut in the super. And of course this will make it easier to get into V-Trigger off the second hit of the uppercut as well. Okay, the third change is Ken's EX uppercut. They added just a tad more invincibility to it, so I guess it's for hitting people a little further away when you're going through fireballs or where you need to activate into V-Trigger and make a gamble. Alright, let's get to the juicy stuff now. The big buff is Ken's V-Trigger 1 has been reworked out. First, the timer on the bottom left is longer, so you have more time to use your V-Trigger. The next change is Ken's able to cancel any of his fireballs, including his EX version, into either his V-Skill 1 or V-Skill 2. This completely opens up Ken to new combo potential and pressure options with V-Trigger 1. First, let's talk about the possibilities with V-Skill 1. So if you do a fireball point blank, cancel into run, you're -2, meaning you're safe, but you lose your turn. I guess you could do an EXDP. You are a Ken player, right? However, if you space the fireball at a distance, you can be like +5, which is really sick. Just keep in mind you can only cancel the fireball on the V-Skill on hit and block. You can't just whip the fireball full screen and then run cancel that. If you do an EX fireball point blank into run, you're +4, meaning it's definitely your turn, and that's really sick. So crouching medium kick EX fireball might be the way to go. And that's really good because it's one of Ken's biggest weaknesses with his V-Trigger 1, is that if he doesn't get the initial activation combo, then he's stuck chasing the opponent, doing random heavy TATSU, you name it, to get back in and push him towards the corner. But now you have options. If you haven't noticed by now, doing your fireball cancel drains your V gauge, about half. So you have 2 attempts with this and then the V gauge is gone, which is quite a bit for a 3-bar V-Trigger. Now before I start showing off some new Ken combos, I should also add that Capcom buffed the juggle limit on the EX Tatsu as well as his step kick, so that these combos work when you're canceling from fireball on V-Trigger 1. So even though Ken doesn't get the same pressure options with V-Skill 2 when he cancels from his fireball, he still gets some new combos, so let me show that off too. Alright, next change. Ken's V-Trigger 2 also got buffed. What they did is they made it so that the juggle limit doesn't start until after the V-Trigger. So therefore, you can do all your different enders regardless of how the combos started. Basically, you get more damage now. The final change is Ken's Super. They added 2 more active frames to it, making it way easier to juggle into. A lot of times you have to be really precise on the timing, especially after V-Trigger 2, and sometimes this thing would just whip. Now it's a lot easier and more reliable to combo into, and on top of the heavy uppercut 2 hit buff as well, this shouldn't be dropping out anymore. And that's a wrap, guys. Another patch note video complete. I really enjoyed Ken's patch notes this season. I think they really addressed some of his weaknesses. They gave him some new combos, and it really helped his rushdown archetype. Let me know what you guys think about the patch notes here. And of course, we'll be covering all the rest of the characters. So be sure to subscribe and of course like the video. It really helps out. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Peace.